Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich at the KMT. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we've beaten the Japanese. We're just trying to kind of secure our control over China. So you allow the Totalists, Syndicalists, the Social Democrats, and the Social Liberals to all join our coalition. Get some more war support, a little bit more political power. All that sounds great. And then following that, we can secure some foreign recognition, and immediately go straight down to the Third Repeated Congress. We gotta choose a new capital. Probably just keep our capital in Nanjing. I don't think we're gonna move it to Beijing. I think just keeping it down here is fine for the most part. But we'll see. Maybe they'll give us like a little extra, you know, something if we change it. Also, someone in the comments did point out, hey, this is probably gonna be a great time for you to start building an air force. And you know what? You're probably very much correct on that. I literally don't have any tech planes. I have nothing researched for aircraft. Okay, that is something we need to fix. But you are correct. We do need to start building up an air force. Actually, we probably should be building up a navy as well. I literally don't think we have any planes. Or any boats, I should say. So yeah, you know, let's just make this our naval hub. Yeah, let's bring all of you down to one. We'll just finish the buildings we're already... No, the factories we're already building. And then we'll go down to building some dockyards. Like, we produce a handful of convoys. That's about it. We don't have a navy beside that. Yeah, let's secure foreign recognition, please. So replace legitimacy of party with we're now the national government. We get 20% stability, 50%. I mean, we get a lot of great things in here. What is actually not core territory? It's really just Manchuria and Shanghai, but that should get cored sooner rather than later. So I guess if we're already... I mean, if we just need planes, I guess we need trains as well. So you know what? Throw 5 factories into trains. You know what? Put 10 factories into trains. And do we have trucks? We do. So let's take some of you off of infantry equipment release right now. We do have a lot of guns in storage, like 36,000 rifles. So we could start building up more and more units. And actually, also, do we have tanks? We need a main armament. We could get, I mean, these are like basic World War I tanks, though. Let's wait until at least our basic medium tank's done. And then afterwards, we'll maybe go for 1940 medium tank. Get a handful of those, because I'm not too sure how exactly we're going to end this campaign. Like, if we could theoretically... Also, no. I need to build the air weapons. I literally was just talking about that. Yeah, get the light machine gun. I think maybe we invade Russia. Like, Germany, yeah, they're going to kill the International. That's sad for our comrades in Europe. But if we can, with the backing of the Far Eastern Union, divide Russia between ourselves and Berlin... I think we could have some good stuff working there, for sure. Okay, Venezuela's joined the Colombian faction. That is A-okay. Not going to worry about that too much. So 48 days will integrate my clique. They have, like, I think, like 22 divisions or something crazy like that. What do? You give me war support. I do not need it. I think you give us stability, which would be nice. You know what? Yeah. We're not actually going to be in a war anytime soon, I don't think, so we're okay getting our stability up. 57% is not super great. I mean, we're going to get an extra plus 20% when you're done, but it still definitely could be better for us. Insufficient resource. We'll get rubber. We'll get that from, I guess, Brazil. Thing is, we don't want to trade with anybody who could be our enemies. Insul India is allied with the Japanese. Of course, we are anti-Japanese. They still hold Taiwan. They still have a couple of ports here. I mean, I think they're normally German-controlled ports. But right now, they're controlled by the Japanese, and I'm not a fan of that. We can't take Mongolia without going into war with Russia, and I don't think we want to go to war with Russia quite yet. So what the hell's going on with Iran? This might be one of the weirdest looking front lines I've ever seen in Iran. Like, what the hell is going on over here? This shit is messy as hell. Okay. We have our trucks, we're getting our trains, which is good. Do we want to build some motorized divisions? I think the answer probably is yes. Give me like 10 basic ones. Nothing like too crazy though. Yeah, overall, I feel like things are looking pretty good for us. We might have to invade our way into Germany's Asia at some point, but that's okay. And of course, they want to secure all of these. And actually, I need some of you to go around this port as well. I think that's all the ports we have, I think. Okay, so let's do the third Congress here. Calling for the third repudiated Congress. Responding to public pressures, Wang Jin-wei has announced on behalf of the Central Executive Committee plans for the Special Congress to be held in Nanjing about 3 weeks from now. Formerly known as the Third Repudiated National Congress of the Kuomintang, despite its name, it is expected members of the League of Chinese Syndicalists and other aligned Republicans will attend. An itinerary is already being prepared with a list of topics to be discussed, though the elephant in the room is the fate of Wang Jin-wei himself. The longtime party chairman, the President of the Republic, has cast a controversial shadow, despite his efforts to portray himself as a compromising figure. Many see him as a dictator in the making, increasingly untethered to the collective leadership of the CEC. His list of enemies have grown as he and his allies have worked to consolidate power. Chief among these enemies is the Provisional Action Committee, an inter-party faction led by Song Xingling. She has worked to assemble Wang's rivals in a working coalition, while much of the military is known to prefer to see Wang gone, few are willing to endorse an outright coup. Instead, it appears that both factions are entering the Third Congress with their knives sharpened, and only a few know the full extent of either side's plans. But it's certain they will see to assert dominance in proceedings. The Third Congress will begin the largest party congress ever, with over 1,000 representatives hastily drawn from every province and county. Yet it still seems like the fate of millions will be decided by the few. So we're going to remove the call for a congress. Apparently it says we may want to slow down our game. Sure, I guess I will do that. Okay, I'm not too sure why I wanted to slow down the game, but there we go. So we're not going to worry about you, because you're all getting... I mean, you get us civilian factories, which is nice. Infrastructure, some resources as well. But do I need those, really? We have 171 factories, which is, I would say, pretty goddamn good. I mean, actually, getting some more oil would be nice. What's our domestic oil, too? You know, yeah, let's develop our oil a little bit more. Even though it's only going to get us from 2 to 8, which is not saying too much. But it's definitely going to be better than the alternative. And you are 58%. We're still good on this. We're still good. The occupation of Hankou. The torches shone bright as the procession marched, just after dusk. In the town of Hankou, one of the 3 that made up Wuhan, sat the German concession established in 1895 in exchange for German support against Japan. The inland concessions in China are a remnant of a terrible international mandate that has plagued China, and the 600 MU, a reminder of the century of the humiliation. Facing the advance of the Kuomintang, most foreigners fled, leaving the concession effectively abandoned. Yet due to fears of international condemnation, the cities were untouched during the Second Northern Expedition. The national government decided to respect their sovereignty for the time being, electing to wait for a better time for negotiations. For many soldiers and students, however, this was even too much. With the Japanese driven from China in a deadly war, the nation has seen an upswing in nationalism. Tapping this energy is the China Revival Society, an ultra-nationalist band of officers who have denounced the concession to Hankou as void in the context of Kuomintang's anti-imperialist policies. Okay. Give me some more war support there. I'm not going to say no to that. And avenging the humiliations. The aftermath of the Hankou riot has reverberated across China as heated discussions about the implications fill the air. Many are horrified by the mob's violence, while plenty of other groups are jealous of the attention the CRS received, leaving the enemy taking undue credit for the entire party's anti-imperial efforts. Whatever the case, Wang has remained strategically silent as the country braces for intimidators. Over the last few days, China has fallen into another wave of instability as riots have broken out through major Chinese cities, especially near the ports. Disturbing reports of anti-concessionist violence have filled the airwaves and overwhelmed the police, worsened by the widespread participation of security forces. Even areas still outside Kuomintang control are expected to see instability. As the mob violence spreads, they have begun to break down across factional lines. Socialist mobs have extended the campaign against capitalist oppressors, terrorizing bourgeois neighborhoods and commercial districts. Nationalist groups have cast even our MMIC advisors foreign imperialists, taking a strident anti-European and anti-foreign tone. Many, particularly the CRS, accuse the LCS of being puppets of foreign control. Our movement is being torn apart, negative 3% stability. Well, how's our alliance working? Radicalism at 43%. Most people are aligning with the Orthodox faction here. And the fallout of the Nanjing incident. In the aftermath of several days of rioting, there have been numerous casualties, but not other damaging as the advisor of the Mission Military International in China. Although most of the MMIC officers escaped unharmed, their headquarters was raided and ransacked during the unrest, apparently abandoned by Chinese security forces at the height of the violence. 3 were wounded in the evacuation, and 1 was killed. The untimely fallen was one Jean Fontoy, head of the training department and decorated officer during the Great War and French Revolution. He was sent to China as part of the original mission. A writer, playboy, and opium addict, it was said that he was considered at one point to be the head of the mission, but was passed over due to his growing addiction and sympathies to the Solarian movement. This attribute and his hands-on approach seemed to have won over some members of the CRS, who came to pay their last respect before his body was sent home. Andre Malraux, head of the mission, is outraged at the death of his former rival and lashed out against what he believes to be a deliberate attempt against the lives of his men. In an angry meeting with the Central Executive Committee, he is accused of what he describes as an Indian clique of righteous officers leading a conspiracy against the government, hoping to hijack the revolution on the cost of the revolutionary victory. He has fingered General Zheng Fakoi and Xia Yu, the leaders of the Old Chinese Infantry Group in Calcutta, as centers of the nefarious cabal. He has also gone so far as to claim he has eyewitnesses willing to testify on the two personally leading the mob. Reconstruction faction aligned ECEC members, including Sun Fo, have immediately rose to Zheng's defense, angrily condemning what they call as an unsubstantiated rumor mongering. But it's clear that the liberal faction of the party is under pressure, and it's likely that any PAC affiliated officers will go down with them. As Marot is escorted from the meeting, the CEC have broken out into a heated discussion. I mean, we are at 100% stability. Things are now looking pretty goddamn good for the Kuomintang. And the January insurrections. As if things could not get much worse, a series of documents now dubbed the January instructions have been made to the front page news of major cities. The leakers, who have chosen to remain anonymous, claim that they were leading the MMIC advisors, M and Roy's office. In them include a series of telegrams apparently from Paris, which contain a series of demands to deliver for Wang Jinwei at an appropriate opportunity, ostensibly to help him consolidate power and maintain the international support. 1. The All-China Federation of Labor, affiliated with the CSP, is to be legalized, and all Chinese unions placed under it. 2. An influx of syndicalists must be recruited into the army, and syndicalist-aligned officers promoted. Officers to Old Guard must be retired, forcibly needed. 3. Likewise, the party must remain cleansed of the old mindsets, replaced with younger socialists trained abroad. 4. The Revolutionary Military Corps must be established to punish reactionaries. The original leak had been tracked down to a newspaper connected with the CRS, particularly Quam, the Future Prospects, which has quickly picked up at the PAC and RF affiliated papers. Widely distributed within just a day or so, the context effectively implied the MMIC hopes to sponsor a CSP coup d'etat. The timing is incredibly suspicious, and the Congress has announced the forgery by Roy, and Roy knows that he has been with the revolution since the beginning. There's close ties to both factions of the party. But with the MMIC on the defensive, Li Jixian has taken the advantage of the moment to break his silence since the Nanjing incident. In a thundering speech, he has demanded the international military mission be promptly expelled, claiming they wish to take advantage of the comrade's death to initiate a power grab. He has produced a long list of officers who have threatened to resign and protest as a prejudice investigation into the alleged Indian clique persist, with his name at the top list. Conversely, however, if the MMIC is expelled, it expels many of the thousands of officers they have training or remain in solidarity. So we can either dispel the India clique, syndicalism goes up a little bit, retire a handful of generals, or we expel the MMIC, which gives the liberals and the Social Democrats more power, which I don't think we want to do. I mean, the International is completely false. Right? There's actually been... The Austrians have actually navally invaded Britain, which is just embarrassing for the Brits. But we will dismiss the India clique, which does mean that we're now at 64%, which I mean I actually now need to go 10% in this favor, but that works out just fine. 10% stability is never great, but we're still 93. We're still looking pretty goddamn good. Do we need anyone else in high command? Enemy air support minus 10%. Actually, that is pretty good. You know, yeah, give me concealment here. Thank you very much. Okay, doctrines available. Let's finish up our land tree. We now have a dockyard. I literally... Do I not have any boats researched? Apparently we don't have any boats. We have like nothing. Holy shit. I really don't have a single boat researched. No. No, I do not. Okay. America, would you be willing to let me know what a boat is? Convoys, improved hulls. The answer is probably no, because the AI... Oh, no, you will say yes, because they're friendly with us. You would not accept you because you're probably too advanced. Do you have like a submarine I could borrow? Submarines are usually pretty good. Oh no, you want? I don't need all of these. You would not accept technology differences. Improved submarine they wouldn't do. What about like just Veal Creek era? We got Veal Creek era submarines. Give me light ship hulls as well. Cruiser hulls. I at least want some, thank you. I might have traded way too many factories for this, but that's okay. We can now start building ourselves some actual naval units, which is pretty good. I mean, they're American ships, but that's fine. The Zhengshan suit explodes in popularity. Okay, this is just telling about an outfit. We don't really care about the fashion in the Kuomintang right now. No offense, that's not like super important. Oh, I actually get a research bonus on this. Okay. See, I want to improve our submarines where we can. But I do think, at least for right now, this is going to be a great time for us to end this episode. So if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoying, thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.